If made properly, the hurricane will be tart and refreshing and transport you to a tropical beach immediately. So the story of the hurricane, not the Bob Dylan song, the cocktail, it's pretty well accepted. So it was born in New Orleans in the 1940s and it came out of a surplus of rum. So basically World War II meant that European spirits were hard to come by. So some enterprising booze reps would make buying scotch and cognac dependent on the bar owners also taking heaps of readily available rum off their hands. Originally a simple combination of citrus, passion fruit and rum, and lots of it, it gets its name from the signature hurricane glassware it was served in. This cocktail though is probably one of the most misunderstood. It just became jumbled up with sort of bad generic tiki drinks, and the 80s was a bad time for a lot of cocktails. Long story short, it's often served with at least 2 more ingredients than necessary. So things like sweet and sour mix, a bright red cordial, long life orange juice. I'm kind of just getting a headache thinking about it. So I prefer to think of it more as just a rum sour with a tropical pop of passion fruit and then obviously that iconic serve to keep it fun. That said, it is pretty boozy, so if you'd like to lengthen it out, then I'd say to stick to about 30 mils or 1 ounce of either orange juice, only if you have fresh though, or can squeeze fresh, or some pineapple juice. Long life is definitely okay, you probably just want to bump up the lemon juice a little, make sure it's all balanced out. And if you do have a sweeter tooth, then a bar spoon of a good quality grenadine certainly won't go amiss. So first we're just going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice. Being thrifty, I've used this one for a twist for another drink. It's a good juicy one. And then we'll get our garnish ready as well. You can obviously use cocktail cherries. We just happen to have some nice fresh cherries here, which I thought would be a lovely addition. So just skewer one of them and your orange wedge. You really don't have to be prescriptive about this. Even the bar where the drink was invented has changed up their garnish since kind of the original days. So whatever you have in your fridge that you reckon is going to look pretty. So we're going to go 40 mils of light rum. I'm using Pampero Blanco. It's just really nice and kind of fruity, heaps of tropical fruit in there already, which obviously is going to add to the drink. I'm going 40 mils. The original recipe does actually call for 2 full shots. So, you know, if you want to make a night of it, then absolutely go for it. I'm just trying to be responsible here. Any good quality light rum or white rum is going to work for you. And then the same amount, so 40 mils of your dark rum. Using Plantation Original Dark, it's one of my favorite cocktail rums. You see it heaps in bars. It's really kind of rich and flavorful without being overpowering. It still balances quite nicely with other kind of rums and flavors. It does go through a second aging in cognac barrels, so I find it just kind of has like a little bit more sort of structure and depth. Definitely a good buy, and it's not super expensive. We'll do 30 mils of passion fruit syrup. This is pretty easy to make. You can just use some tinned passion fruit and some sugar and just kind of simmer that all up with some water. I'll pop the recipe in for you, and then it's up to yourself if you want to strain that or not. I have, so there's not any little bits because we're shaking and dumping, but also it's quite nice to have some little passion fruit pieces in there too. Then 30 mils of your fresh lemon juice. I'm going to fill your shaker with as much ice as you can fit in there. Pop your tins together and shake as hard as you can. As you can see, your tin's all nice and frosty. Pop it open, give it a little taste. It's pretty lethal. Grab your glass out of the fridge or freezer, and then you can just pour straight in with the rest of it. Because it is such a big glass, I've just popped a little bit of fresh ice in the bottom because probably what you have in here will not quite fill it all the way up. Then you just need your straw. Pop in your garnish. And there we have a hurricane. First of all, I do have to thank my sister-in-law Besha and her obsession with vintage glassware for this awesome hurricane glass, and I'm glad that it's finally getting its proper use. It has had a pina colada in it at home, but that's actually not one that we've done yet for you guys. So if you reckon that sounds like fun, then definitely drop me a comment below and hit the little notification bell so that you won't miss it if we do. I mean, passion fruit is just pretty hard to go wrong with. This is actually quite dangerous. When I first had a little taste, I thought that it was really quite strong. But just with all the ice in there and everything, and being really cold, you could probably drink it quicker than you should. But yeah, fruity, fresh, and fun. It's just everything that tiki should be, really. The hurricane. So now you know.